gonna burn at some point. Hi. Welcome to another video. Today we are going to do a little sit down video. I am wearing my coziest sweater at the moment. I'm literally living in a fleece sweater, pretty much. I've had a bit of a bad week. If anyone saw my last vlog where I went on a trip and I got really sick, I went to the doctor this week and it triggered a very heavy trauma response, and I've been quite down. I'm not feeling myself at the moment. I feel very frustrated and angry at life. I feel like everything's unfair. There's nothing I can do except just find another therapy. Another one we're adding to the list of therapies, because obviously nothing medically is wrong with me. It's just it's in there. A bit frustrating, but we're gonna deal with it. I've made my room cozy. The curtains are closed. It's a very rainy day. I put all my cozy lights on. A little candle to have a nice smell. And we're just gonna talk about the books that I am excited for, because thankfully I can still find some excitement in life at the moment. We're focusing on the good things and not the bad. Anyway, like I said, we're gonna talk about my fall TBR. I have a massive one because I am pretty much a fantasy reader. I love reading fantasies. That's like the most inspiring thing for me to read, is about these females that are, you know, having to do with very traumatic things, and they still have a happy ending. So far I've only read people that have happy endings, so we're hoping for one too. Anyway, we're not talking about me, because that's not fun. We're talking about books. That's what I'm here about. So I think what I'm first going to do, because I made a list of books that I am anticipating that I really want to read in the fall, but they're books that are coming out this fall or just came out, and I obviously haven't bought those because I have a lot of books that I need to read. So these are just some books that I'm like, I would like to read them, but they're not many. They're not many books that I'm really looking forward to read as like books that just came out. So let's just start talking about the first one. So this one will be released on the 30th this month, I believe. It's called I Am You by Victoria Rattle. It's about the 1600s in Amsterdam, two women, a painter and her assistant, and they divide the norms of their time as they take on the male-dominated art world and fall in love. Doesn't that sound amazing? But that one I would be really excited with. Then we have What We Can Know by Ian McEwan, which is coming out the 23rd. And in 2014, a great poem is read aloud and never heard again. For generations, people speculate about its message, but no copy has yet been found. But yeah, it sounds really interesting to me. And then we have The Alchemist by Sen-Lin Yu. It's also coming out on the 23rd. And in this riveting dark fantasy debut, a woman with missing memories fights to survive a war-torn world of necromancy and alchemy, and a man tasked with unearthing the deepest secrets of her past. Kind of looks like Amnesia kind of vibe. But it is a fantasy, a dark fantasy, and like I said, I am a fantasy girly, so I need it. And then, funny enough, I wrote down Wild Reference, which is already out. It's been out for like 10 days. For some reason when I wrote it down, it didn't click in my mind that we've already passed that time. and I went this week to how's it called? Westfield Mall of the Netherlands, and I suddenly saw it in a store and I was like, Dad, this is like, I was in a very down mood. I literally just had the doctor appointment and my parents didn't want to leave me alone. So they took me to my mom's appointment and my dad and I just went to this mall. And he's like, are you looking for something? And I was like, can't think of anything. Like literally my brain was like all over the place. So I see, this is the first thing I see and I'm like, Dad, they already have this. I didn't know it was already out. So I have here the Wild Reference. I think that's how you say it. By Rebecca Ross. I really enjoyed her Divine Rifles duology. Wasn't my ultimate favorite because it was very easy to read. Like it wasn't like, maybe that's the thing that I'm enjoying. I like epic fantasy maybe a bit more, but it wasn't like super difficult to read. Like it's one of those books that you can read if you're not really into the fantasy genre yet. You know, like that kind of easy read. But anyway, I saw this one, and this one's about Matilda. Is a young goddess blessed with humble messenger magic, carrying letters and secrets throughout the realms, including one of her own, a mortal boy who appears only in her dreams. 10 years ago, Vincent of Becket wrote to Matilda on the darkest night of his life, begging the goddess he befriended in dreams for aid. But his prayer went unanswered, forever hardening his heart. That is, until she arrives, bearing a letter with the promise of a future beyond dreams. One that might rewrite the dark blood-soaked ways of the god. Or end them. Sounds hella good to me. So, this was an anticipated release, but now I have it in my hands. I'm so happy about it. So happy. Yeah, so we're now going to the list of books that I own. But first, another book that I bought at the same store. Because I was like, I've been seeing this everywhere. And this cover looked stunning. With the gold and the stairs. It gives kind of like the Harry Potter vibes of when those stairs move. It's like super cool. They had both covers, which I've never seen in a store. Like the only store I go to is the Bruna, which is nearby to me. I mean, I still need to take a train, which most of the time I'm not able to because I'm crazy. But yeah, that was super exciting. So I was like, oh, which cover am I gonna choose? And this one was €2 more expensive, but I really love the cover. So I hope that I love the book. But this is Catabasis. That's kind of, I don't know, that sounds the most logistic way. I don't know. By R.F. Kuang. I read Yellowface. Well, I didn't read it. I listened to the audiobook and I really enjoyed the audiobook. I felt like it was like a good story, but it's not something I would reread or something like that. But I really did enjoy the whole person that we were following that we actually didn't really like, and we were like, this is so rude. You can't just steal somebody's story. But anyway, Catabasis is about grad student Alice Law has only ever had one goal: to become the brightest mind in the field of analytic magic. But the only person who can make her dream come true is dead, and inconveniently in hell. And Alice, along with her biggest rival Peter Murdoch, is going after him. But hell is not as the philosophers claim. Its rules are upside down, and if she's going to get out of there alive, she and Peter will have to work together. That is, if they can agree on anything. Will they triumph or kill each other trying? Hello. I want to read this, like, right now. Right now. I'm so excited. I heard a few reviews where they were like, it's fine. It wasn't like groundbreaking, but like the synopsis sounds so good to me. It sounds so good. So I really want to read this. So yeah, those were two great finds. Okay, then I wrote down on my list of books that I would like to read Stephen King. I own a few Stephen King books, but I was looking at the Stephen King books and I was like, which one would I really want and to read? And I was thinking about, whoa, these letters are really tiny. I was thinking about the first book that I bought because of the cover. Stephen King, The Institutes. This looks so cool. It's like I'm going to like a really scary Harry Potter. But look at the letters. Can you even see them? That's so tiny. But yeah, Stephen King is about, not Stephen King, The Institute is about Luke Ellis, a super smart 12-year-old with an exceptional gift, is the latest in a long line of kids abducted and taken to a secret government facility, hidden deep in the forest in Maine. Here, kids with special talents, telekinesis and telepathy, like Luke's new friends, Kalisha, Nick, and Iris, are subjected to a series of experiments. There seems to be no hope of escape until Luke teams up with an even younger boy whose powers of telepathy are off the scale. Meanwhile, far away in a small town in South Carolina, former cop Tim Jamieson looks for the quiet life, has taken a job working for the local sheriff. He doesn't know he's about to take on the biggest case of his career. Oh my god, we'll keep readers up late at night. Ooh. I mean, I already up late at night anyway because I cannot fall asleep. So, this sounds pretty good to me. It's a super tiny book though. What the heck? Sounds pretty scary for like when it's a rainy day like today. I'm excited. I'm excited to read all these. That's the whole point of this video. Then we have House of Bane and Bloods, which I got for my birthday and it's been on my TBR for this month, September. This is a city split into opposing sides. Power comes in many forms: bloodlines, money, love, and most importantly, secrets. And I'm gonna read back to you, but then it's going to be a very long video. I just realized, because I still have like a stack of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 books. And I've only talked about 7, I think. I don't even know. So we're just gonna keep it with this short thing, okay? Because like the back is pretty long. The back is too long. Like, you can pause it if you want to read it. Sounds interesting. I've only heard one person talk about that book, and that was a good review, so. Then we have, I believe this was like such a big thing, but that was before I was really into reading, but it's the Children of Blood and Bone. They killed my mother, they took her magic, they tried to bury us, now we rise. Yes. Exactly. Now we rise. Let's go. Pretty much says everything, I feel like. Anyway, I have this one on my TBR for like quite a while too now. It really should be read. It should be read. Then we have this big chunker. The Priory of the Orange Tree. Also, one of those TikToks where everyone was suddenly reading this in like 24 hours and I was like, why? Why are we doing that? This is a world divided, a queendom without an heir, and an ancient enemy awakens. Sounds pretty interesting. I believe that this has different, like, multiple POVs, so it's gonna be a little bit more epic fantasy, I think. Like, it's gonna be a little bit more, it's gonna take a bit more brain power, that's what I mean. But I'm really excited, and I really feel like I just need to like sit down with this book and just open it, you know, put a timer for like an hour and then just read it. I feel like that's one of those things that would help if I'm intimidated by the book, because I am very intimidated, and I just need to force myself to sit down and read. But I'm really excited for this one because I've heard so many good reviews about this. And then we have The Night Circus, which I believe is just like a cozy fantasy. It's more like the cozy vibe, I believe. That's what I've heard. This is about the circus arrives without warning. No announcements precede it. It is simply there when yesterday it was not. It doesn't really say much about like the whole plot, but like I said, maybe there isn't much plot and it's just like cozy. You're there for the vibes. You're reading it for the vibes, maybe? Because honestly, like, am I just gonna read about a circus now? Like, is that all it's gonna be? Yeah. There's nothing else that I can read about it. That's all it says. But anyway, sounds pretty autumn-y, I guess. I don't know. Just making things up as I go. And then we have One Dark Window. Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. She needs a monster, and she calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. Together they embark on a dangerous quest to cure the town of blunder from the dark magic infecting it. But the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies. Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secret yet. The nightmare is slowly, darkly taking over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him. A maiden must unleash the monster within to save her kingdom in this dark, lush, gothic fantasy debut. I've heard lots of good things about this. And then one of the books that I bought for myself this year, The Crimson Moth. The only thing more treacherous than being a witch is falling in love. A hunted witch and a witch hunter. Oh. A hunted witch. The revolution reigns. The witches who once ruled are hidden, hunted. Rune is one of them. A socialite by day, she is the Crimson Moth by night. A vigilant bent on saving her own, her next rescue demands she court Gideon Sharp, a notorious witch hunter and unforgiving revolutionary. Okay. A witch hunter, Gideon will pursue the Crimson Moth to the ends of the earth, and her trail leads him to Rune. But beneath her facade might be his match. Except what if she's the very villain he's been hunting? Okay. I don't know, it sounds really interesting, and I love this freaking cover. Like, how beautiful is that? House of Salt and Sorrows, which I believe is very autumnal vibe. It only says once there were 12 of us. Ooh, an eerie, lovely 12 dancing princesses retelling full of ghosts and gods and fascinating waterfront world. House of Salt and Sorrows is a spellbinding novel filled with magic and the rustle of gossamer skirts down long, dark hallways. Get ready to be swept away. This looks cool. Like, look, it's like a little octopus, if you can tell. I don't know. This is one of those books that I already have like since 2020, I think. It really should be. Like, I should not read this. Yeah, this came out in 2019. I do have to say, I'm getting like so excited to read all these books. It's like, do I even care about my TBR videos at this point? Because I'm just like, I just want to read these. This is all I want to read. Anyway, I love the whole like living by the water. Like, I hope that I'm getting like these like rainy storms. Because that would be like the vibe. Then we have Vespertine, which is also a book that has been on my TBR for so long. There's nothing here. This is for ages 14 and up. I've never seen that written in a book, to be honest. The Dead of Lorraine? The Dead of Lorraine do not rest. Artemisia is training to be a Grey Sister, a nun who cleanses the bodies of the deceased so that their souls can pass on. Otherwise, they will rise as spirits with a ravenous hunger for the living. She would rather deal with the dead than the living who trade whispers about her scarred hands and troubled past. When her convent is attacked by possessed soldiers, Artemisia defends it by awakening an ancient spirit bound to a saint relic. It is a revenant that threatens to possess her the moment she drops her guard. Wielding its extraordinary power almost consumes her, but death has come to L'Oreal, and only a Vespertine, a priestess trained to wield a high relic, has any chance of stopping it. But all knowledge of Vespertine is lost to time. As she unravels a sinister mystery of saint secrets and dark magic, her bond with the Revenant grows. And when a hidden evil begins to surface, she discovers that facing this enemy might require her to betray everything she has been taught to believe. If the Revenant doesn't betray her first. This sounds very dark, like very gothic. Like the whole taking care of the bodies of the deceased. Can you imagine? I don't want to imagine it. I really don't. But it sounds really good. It sounds really autumny, very dark, cold. Like a body. Anyway. Then we have the Atlas 6, which I've been holding off to for a while. I don't know why, but I feel like I've seen a few reviews where they were like, I don't like it. But secrets, betrayal, seduction, power. Welcome to the Alexandrian Society. Each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to earn a place in the Alexandrian Society, the foremost secret society in the world. The chosen will secure a life of power and prestige beyond their wildest dreams, but at what cost? Each of the 6 newest recruits has their reasons for accepting the society's elusive invitation, even if it means growing closer than they could have imagined to their most dangerous enemies, or risking unforgivable betrayal from their most trusted allies. They will fight tooth and nail for the right to join the ranks of the Alexandrians, even if it means they won't all survive this year. So this is more of a dark academia book. And I always feel like dark academia fits the whole autumn vibe very well. So, I am so excited about this one, even though I didn't see really good reviews when I ended up buying it. Because sometimes you buy a book and then suddenly you get all of these reviews about the certain book that you bought, which is a little bit scary, not gonna lie. My phone knows what's up. But I haven't seen anyone read it in the last year or so. I don't know, maybe it's up my alley. Maybe I like it. And then we have A Rune of Roses. It's a book that I got last year from my sister, but she said that it was quite spicy, and I did DNF a book that was a little bit too spicy, and I was like, I just need plot. I don't need to read the whole time about your yearning. So I'm hoping this is not the whole time. I could save him, but he would ruin me. The beast, the creature who stalks the forbidden wood, the dragon prince. He has suffered fate worse than death. We all have. A curse put upon us by the Mad King. We are a kingdom locked in time, shifters unable to feel our animals, stuck here by a deal between a late king and a demon who seeks our destruction. The only one keeping this kingdom alive is Nathan, the golden prince to a stolen throne, the last dragon shifter. He is our hope. He is my nightmare. When he catches me trespassing in a forbidden wood, he doesn't punish me with death, as he's entitled. He takes me instead, forces me back to the castle as his prisoner, seeks to use me. Apparently I can save him. I can save the whole forgotten kingdom, locked away by the demon king's power. But it would mean taming the monster beneath his skin. It would mean giving myself to him. It would mean my room. Dark. But it did sound very spicy if you look at it different. Anyway, I believe this is kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but then dark. I don't know, I'm still very excited about this one, but I just have put it off because of the whole spicy comments. But maybe I can skip the spice. You know? Woodstock, if that means I'm skipping half the book, but it does sound very interesting. Like, I love the enemies to lovers, but I also like slow burn. And some enemies to lovers do not have the slow burn, but have the immediate attraction, which I do not enjoy. I just want to like wait until like page 350 when they steal a little kiss, you know? I don't want to have them kiss in like the first 50, 60 pages. But we shall see. I'm still very excited about this one. I love it. Well, I don't know if I love it, but... Then we have Nettle and Bone. And I heard a lot of good things about her. So I'm really excited. I keep seeing all of her books everywhere. It's like she's following me. This isn't a fairy tale where the princess marries a prince. It's the one where she kills him. Lovely. After years of seeing her sister suffer at the hands of an abusive prince, Mara, the shy, convent-raised third-born daughter, has finally realized that no one is coming to their rescue. No one except for Mara herself. Seeking help from a powerful grave witch, Mara is offered the tools to kill a prince if she can complete 3 impossible tasks. But, as is the way in tales of princes, witches, and daughters, the impossible is only the beginning. On her quest, Mara is joined by the Grave Witch, a reluctant fairy godmother, a strapping former knight, and a chicken possessed by a demon. What? Together, the 5 of them intend to be the hands that closes around the throne of the prince and frees Mara's family and their kingdom from its tyrannous ruler at last. A demon chicken? Wait, that's kind of funny. Oh yeah, I kind of hope that this will be like a funny book. With like the demon chicken. That will be funny. I don't know, this sounds super interesting, but I don't know why I haven't read it yet. But to be honest, this is most of the books that I own. I didn't read it because probably some other book came out and I ended up reading that. Because that's the thing, I do not buy one book. No. No. In the beginning of my reading journey, I bought like 10 books at the same time. Yeah. Now I'll buy a max of 2. Then we have one that I also feel like I need to read. I really do. It's called If We Were Villains, and I believe this is the autumn read. Like this is dark academia. You need to read this. At least that's what I've heard. I don't know. It's a literary thriller. Oh, whoa. You can tell that I've never really opened this book. Okay, cool. This is the front. Oliver Marks has just served 10 years for the murder of one of his closest friends. A murder he may or may not have committed. On the day he is released, he is greeted by the detective who put him in prison. Detective Colborne is retiring, but before he does, he wants to know what really happened 10 years ago. As a young actor studying Shakespeare at an elite arts conservatory, Oliver noticed that his talented classmates seemed to play the same roles on stage and off. Villain, hero, tyrant, temptress. Though Oliver felt doomed to always be a secondary character in someone else's story. But when the teachers change up the casting, a good-natured rivalry turns ugly, and the play spills dangerously over into life. When tragedy strikes, one of the 7 friends is found dead. The rest face their greatest acting challenge yet. Convince the police and themselves that they are blameless. And that does sound dark. That sounds really good. Like a good... Maybe it's like a mystery too? Like, I don't know who we're following, obviously. Like, are we following... Like, are we just having flashbacks from like what happened with these actors, or are we more on the POV of like the detective? I don't know, sounds pretty dang interesting. Then we have A Deadly Education, which everyone also read like years ago. Enter a school of magic unlike any you have ever encountered. There are no teachers, no holidays, friendships are purely strategic, and the odds of survival are never equal. Once you're inside, there are only two ways out. You graduate, or you die. How to put even more pressure on school. Elle Higgins is uniquely prepared for the school's many dangers. She may be without allies, but she possesses a dark power, strong enough to level mountains and wipe out untold millions. Never mind easily destroy the countless monsters that prowl the school. Except she might accidentally kill all the other students too. So Elle is trying her hardest not to use it. That is, unless she has no other choice. Pretty cool. So she's just like a very strong... She just has like this very strong power. Probably gonna find some friends in this, right? Some newfound family. Could be cute. And then I have two other books. These are the last two. Don't worry. We're here. We're getting there. Okay? We're almost at the end. We have House of Hollow, which I also got for my birthday from a friend. And in this one, dark, dangerous things happen around the Hollow sisters. Ever since they disappeared as children, only to reappear a month later with no memory of what had happened to them. Odd, eerie occurrences follow in the wake. When Gray, the eldest, goes missing again, Iris and Vivi are left to figure out the mystery, but they aren't the only ones looking for her. As they brush against the supernatural, Iris realizes that the world that returned them 10 years ago might be calling them back. But just how much horror lies beneath the surface? They're from a different world? Supernatural. Sounds pretty dang gothic? I don't know. Autumn? Maybe? And then the last one is Bunny, which is like this really weird book, I believe. We call them bunnies because that's what they call each other. Samantha Hatter McKay is an outsider in her small, highly selective MFA program at Warren University. In fact, she's utterly repelled by the rest of her fiction writing cohorts. A clique of invariably 3 rich girls who call each other Bunny. But then the bunnies issue her with an invitation, and Samantha finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, across the threshold and down their rapid hall. Blending sharp satire with fairy tale horror, Bunny is a spellbinding trip of a novel from one of fiction's most original new voices. I believe a lot of people call this a fever dream. And you know what? I wouldn't mind having a fever dream at this point. So, yeah. Anyway, those were all the books that I would really love to get to in the fall. Obviously, fall is only a few months long, and these are quite a stack of books. I don't even know how many, and they're almost falling over next to me. But yeah, anyway, I'm really tired now. But anyway, this was really nice. This was exactly what I needed to just talk about the books that I'm excited about to read, especially because I just have been a little bit of a downer. Anyway, I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video, even though I'm a little bit down. It definitely gave me a little bit more excitement about the next coming months because there's so many books I need to read. So many books I want to read. I don't need to do anything. I want to read all of these books. Like, I literally had to make like a little selection because honestly, I can choose so many more books that I would love to get to. Because that's the whole reason that they are on my TBR. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. And hopefully I'll be in a bit of a better mood.